people thought these files were buried forever. Redactions meant the truth would stay hidden. Now AI is being used to reverse secrecy itself, and it's raising terrifying questions no one is ready for. Welcome back to NeuroWire Signal, where we break down the most unsettling tech stories shaping the future. If you want clarity instead of clickbait, like the video and subscribe. It helps this channel grow. Today we're talking about a claim that shocked the internet. AI unredacting Epstein files. What's real, what's hype, and why this moment actually matters far more than people think. Where this story even came from. The idea that AI is unredacting Epstein-related documents didn't come from a single official announcement. It emerged from a mix of online discussions, leaked research demos, open-source experiments, and speculation amplified by social media. People started noticing something unsettling. AI models were being trained to reconstruct missing text. Others were restoring censored documents with surprising accuracy. Then someone asked the inevitable question: what happens when this tech is pointed at the most heavily redacted files in modern history? That's when the Epstein files entered the conversation. First, let's be clear about one thing. No credible authority has confirmed that AI has officially unredacted Epstein files in a legally verified way. That matters. But here's the part that also matters. The technology to approximate, infer, and probabilistically reconstruct redacted information already exists, and that's what's freaking people out. What redaction was supposed to do. Redaction exists for a reason. Names, locations, and details are blacked out to protect privacy, ongoing investigations, or national security. In theory, once something is redacted, it's gone. Historically, redaction worked because humans couldn't reliably reverse it. AI changed that assumption. Modern models don't need certainty. They work on likelihood. They ask, what is most statistically probable here? And when you combine that with massive context, patterns, and historical data, redaction becomes porous. How AI can unredact without seeing the original. This is where the story gets misunderstood. AI isn't magically reading black bars. Instead, it does something more subtle and more disturbing. It analyzes surrounding text, writing style, timelines, known events, and public records. Then, it generates the most likely missing content. Not truth, probability. And in many cases, probability is close enough to make people uncomfortable. Why Epstein files are a perfect storm. The Epstein case is uniquely suited for AI inference. Why? Because there's enormous public documentation, court transcripts, flight logs, witness statements, journalistic investigations, financial records. When AI has that much contextual data, redactions stop being walls. They become puzzles, and AI is very good at puzzles. The difference between unredacted and inferred. This is the most important distinction people miss. AI is not revealing verified hidden truths. It is generating plausible reconstructions. But here's the problem. Humans are terrible at distinguishing plausible from proven, especially when the topic is emotionally charged. Once an AI-generated inference is shared online, it quickly becomes revealed information in the public imagination. That's how misinformation accelerates. Why this feels like Pandora's box. Even if AI reconstructions are only partially accurate, the implication is massive. Because this isn't just about Epstein, it's about any redacted document, court cases, whistleblower reports, classified memos, police files. If AI can consistently infer what was hidden, redaction as a concept starts to collapse. Why governments are nervous about this. Governments rely on controlled disclosure. Redaction isn't just secrecy, it's risk management. AI disrupts that by making secrecy probabilistic instead of absolute. Even if an AI guess is wrong, the damage can still occur. Reputations can be destroyed. Conspiracies can spread. False certainty can go viral. From an institutional perspective, this is a nightmare. Why tech companies are being very quiet. You'll notice something strange. No major AI company is advertising this capability. That's intentional, because the moment a company openly claims it can reverse redactions, it invites legal chaos, regulatory crackdowns, and ethical backlash. So instead, this tech lives in research papers, demos, and open-source experiments, quietly improving. The Epstein case adds emotional fuel. This story hits harder because of who Epstein was: a convicted sex offender, an elite connected figure, a symbol of institutional failure. People want answers, they want names, they want closure. That emotional demand makes AI-generated speculation especially dangerous. When AI becomes a truth oracle, here's the psychological trap. AI sounds authoritative. It writes confidently, it fills gaps smoothly. So when an AI suggests a missing name or detail, people instinctively trust it, even when it shouldn't be trusted. The model doesn't say, "I don't know." It says, "Here's what's most likely." That difference matters. Why this isn't just a conspiracy story. It would be easy to dismiss this as internet paranoia, but legal scholars, journalists, and ethicists are already discussing AI-assisted document reconstruction. Seriously, the concern isn't Epstein specifically. The concern is precedent. Once AI can meaningfully infer redacted content, the balance between transparency and protection breaks down. Could this be used in journalism? Yes. And that's part of the debate. I could help journalists identify leads, patterns, and inconsistencies in heavily redacted documents. But there's a line between investigation and invention. If AI fills in a name incorrectly and that name spreads publicly, the harm is irreversible. The legal gray zone, nobody prepared for redaction laws, were written for humans. AI doesn't fit neatly into those frameworks. If an AI infers a name that was legally redacted, is that a violation? Who's responsible? The user, the developer, the platform? These questions don't have clear answers yet. And until they do, chaos fills the gap. Why this could chill. Whistleblowers rely on redaction for safety. If AI can infer identities from patterns, locations, or writing style, anonymity becomes fragile. That could discourage future disclosures, or worse, put people at risk. This isn't hypothetical. Stylometry and pattern analysis already exist. AI just scales them. What this means for privacy. Going forward, privacy used to mean hiding information. Now it means managing inference. That's a profound shift. You don't need to leak data anymore. You just need to leak enough context. AI does the rest. Why Epstein keeps coming up. Epstein represents a collective suspicion that powerful people escape accountability. AI feels like a weapon against that imbalance. But weapons cut both ways. The desire for truth doesn't justify unreliable revelation, and AI doesn't understand justice. It understands patterns. How easily this can go wrong. Imagine an AI infers a name incorrectly. That name spreads online. It gets picked up by creators chasing clicks. Then it becomes common knowledge. Corrections never travel as far as accusations. That's the real danger here. AI isn't uncovering truth, it's challenging who controls it, and that distinction could define the next decade. If this breakdown helped you see past the headlines, like the video, and subscribe to NeuroWire Signal, because in the age of AI, the most dangerous thing isn't secrecy, it's false certainty.